Hi there, my name is Elizabeth Harris and today I'm going to be teaching you how to cover a cake in sugar paste and get perfectly sharp corners all the way around your edge. This can be done using Flexi Smoothers. These Flexi Smoothers are from my own range, which are available in Home Bargain. They're just brilliant tools. I use them on pretty much every single cake I do. As you can see, they're pretty flexible. And you use them to sharpen all your corners, and I do always start with a normal smoother, which most people will use, but if I want to get a really sharp corner, then I need to use a Flexi Smoother. So I'll take you through it. So to start with, I've got some sugar paste. Now I've given this a really good knead because I need it to be pliable enough for me to roll out, not have any cracks in. So I've given it a really good knead, and then I've just brought it round into a ball so it's ready for rolling, because the cake I'm going to do is circular. So I've got that round there. I'm just going to give it a nice little flatten. And I'm going to get my rolling pin. These are also in Home Bargain. And I'm just going to start to roll. I've got a bit of icing sugar underneath, just a little bit. You don't need lots, you don't want to dry out your sugar paste. And then with my pin, I'm just going to roll, and I'm going to give it a 45-degree turn every couple of rolls. Okay, and turn again. If you feel like it's starting to catch a little bit underneath, just pop a tiny bit more icing sugar under. And also, if you see a small air bubble, just get the tip of your knife or a pin. If you have one to hand, get a pin and just get rid of that air bubble. And because the icing's still quite fat, it's fine. I'm going to roll that away anyway. So I'm just going to keep rolling. And I want to roll until I know that my icing is not only going to cover the top, but all the way down the sides. So that looks probably about like it's the right size. You can still move it all. I'm just going to hold my cake over the top, and I can see that that is plenty big enough. Just have a little feel over your icing. If any bits feel a bit thicker than others, then you can always just roll over with your pin. So I know there I've got enough sugar paste to cover my cake. And it's about, I would say, 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch thick, a couple of millimeters thick there. And that's what you need. So I'm going to bring my cake over, pop it on my Lazy Susan. Now my cake is buttercreamed perfectly with sharp corners. Now I've fridged this so it's nice and hard, and I've also put a thin layer of this stuff, which is called Crisco, all over it. Because I've put it in the fridge and it's gone hard, it's not sticky anymore. So I've just popped a bit of this Crisco all over it to make sure that the sugar paste will stick to it. Crisco is an American product, but you can just as easily buy Trex here if you'd rather not have to order it off Amazon or another site like that. So I'm going to lift my sugar paste up and over my rolling pin, and I'm going to bring my cake in front, and I can do it from the back or from the front. But for purposes for you to see, I'm going to hold the icing so it nearly touches the bottom and then roll it all the way over the top. Now the most important bit now is to get your top flat. So getting a regular smoother, just start to work over it. You need to work fairly quickly so that the icing doesn't drag or pull down. And the first bit you're going to go around with your hand, just using this line of your hand, is your top line so that this doesn't crack at all. So I'm just going to keep moving all the way around the cake, and when I get to a bit which has got a crease in it, I just tease the icing out and start to really gently rub down with my hand. So I'm not pulling it down, I'm just teasing the icing out. It helps that the bigger the skirt, so to speak, that you have on the cake, the easier it is. If you've only got a really small lip of icing around the bottom, it's doable, but it's harder to get a really clean finish because the icing won't go out as easily when you try and flare it out. So I've got all the way to the bottom, all the way, and then I'm just going to take my knife and about 1/2 inch out from the bottom, I'm going to cut a circle all the way around because I want that lip, because in a minute I'm going to show you how I'm going to flip the cake. So I'm going to take that off, just check there's no marks on it. And remember, when you're not using sugar paste, it does need to be covered, otherwise it'll dry out. So with this bit, I'm just going to pop it back in a zip and seal. I don't want that to dry out. So now I've covered my cake, but it still needs improving. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip my cake over to get this bottom bit nice and clean. You can do this using another board. You can use a plate that you've got at home if you've got one big enough. I sometimes use a really large stainless steel sheet, but for the purposes of today, I'm actually going to use my cake lifter. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of icing sugar on it. Just tap that, just so it's had a really light coat. Pop it on top of my cake. And I'm going to flip it over. And now I'm just going to switch to this cake stand so I can pop it on here. Just gently, you might want to tease it off with your knife. Just gently take off your board. Okay, so I've got my board there to the side. Now this bit, all I want to do is lift it up. So, I've pulled it all the way up, got a sharp knife, make sure it's clean. Give a little wipe. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and make sure it meets the top of the sponge, and then I'm just going to run all the way around with my knife. You just need to be accurate. So I've run all the way around, and then I'm just going to take that piece off. And you can see now that I've got the same level all the way around the bottom. And now I can either flip this back onto a board, or what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip it straight onto a cake stand. So then I can present my cake already on the stand. And I could move it with the cake board if I wanted to, but I don't have to because I've already got it on there. And you can see, before I've even worked on the top, that the bottom is all perfect. It's all finished at the same line. So I'm just going to run around with that smoother, make it all neat. And now I'm going to start work on getting all of these corners nice and sharp. So using my Flexi Smoothers, all I'm going to do is I'm going to place one on the side at the level that is the top of the cake. I'm going to get my other smoother and I'm going to push it towards it. And can you see there already on that tiny bit that I've done? Look at the difference from that to that. And you can just start working your way around making your edges as nice and as sharp as you want them to. I've just got a little air bubble in the top there, so I think I'll just take my knife and get those air bubbles out. And then what you can do is I just then go around all of the side just with my Flexi Smoother and make sure it's absolutely perfect. Just want to sharpen up that edge a tiny bit there. So you can see, you can keep going back over it. Your icing will stay soft for a little while, so you've got time to work on it without having to panic that it's going to dry too quickly. So there it is, how to get nice sharp edges using Flexi Smoothers. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching.